Hi, this is Eric from Dirtbuster Motors. Thank you very much for joining me today. So today I'm going to show you how we effectively clean the dash and particularly the centre console. How to get into those hard to reach areas such as the cup holders and the general recesses that often catch a lot of the dirt and debris and sticky sweets that we often get when we're cleaning cars. So I'm going to show you the products, the equipment, and also I want to go through all the steps to ensure you understand how we go about cleaning a car, and hopefully you can clean yours the same way. Whether you're buying and selling cars or whether you just clean your own car, hopefully this video should be able to help you. So without further ado, let's get straight in. So here's an overview of the products that we're going to be using: a Hoover, a bucket, cleaning solution, some rubber gloves, a selection of different brushes to get into those hard to reach areas as discussed. Then we have the finishing products that we use to give a nice clean satin finish and also remove any unwanted particles which show up on the close-ups of the images when we're doing images for our photos when we're selling cars. Okay, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first step, we use a Hoover and one of the soft bristle brushes. This will remove as much debris as possible before we start beginning with the cleaning solution. But note, I only use a Hoover very lightly, as making sure not to scratch the surfaces. If you use the brush to agitate as you go, you should be able to get a majority of the dirt up before you actually start washing it. Okay, I'm happy with that, so now to the washing. Okay, so grab your bucket and fill no more than a quarter of hot water. You don't want to quart more than that. And add a small amount of the cleaning solution. You don't want too much, because if you have too much, generally it leaves a milky residue. Then we're going to use all our brushes during the cleaning process to make sure we get into every area possible. So start off by using the chamois, not too wet at this point, as you don't want to have any excess water seeping into the electrics. The last thing you want is any problems occurring from water getting into the switches. So always wring your cloth out really well, and the goal is to clean and agitate as much dirt as possible in readiness for the scrubbing. So during this process, use the different brushes to get into the hard to reach areas, the nooks and crannies, and use the chamois at the same time, trying to dry up any excess soap suds as you go. What you'll find is the excess suds will dry up as a dirty residue. A good tip is use a Hoover at the same time to suck up any small excess suds, and I'm saying small, so whatever you can't sort of get up with the cloth, just finish it off with a Hoover. It just gets any excess water up which might dry up dirty. Preferably use a wet Hoover. I am using actually a dry Hoover here, but I actually keep it very, very minor. So keep working this process until you're happy that all the dirt and the debris has been removed. When I'm cleaning between the air vents, I use this additional tool which helps me sort of scrub in between the vents better, and also it's got the little prongs on the other side of the brush which really gets inside the vents to clean them a lot better than you will get from your normal brushes. I've left a link in the description on this brush as well. Another word of caution: be extra careful when you're using the brushes around the chrome or polish finish areas, as you could easily scratch them. So only use the soft bristle brushes on these areas. So once you're happy with this stage, everything's clean and the excess is all wiped up, then we can go to the next step, and that's using the clean, dry microfiber cloth to wipe down any excess solution, and at the same time use a soft bristle brush to remove any residue that may be left in the small nooks and crannies. And once you're happy all the excess solution has been removed, we can now move on to the final finishing steps. One of the final sort of treatment steps we're going to use is we're going to use a dry microfiber cloth, and we're going to use some lightly diluted silicone solution to help give that light sheen look, that nice finish look that you get with new cars. But no, I don't use strong silicone dash vinyl cleaners, as I usually find these add too much shine and they give often a greasy, heavy silicone finish which goes everywhere, on your hands, on your clothes, so I don't recommend that. So keep this to an absolute minimum. This is just like a nice finishing touch that just gives that extra slight bit of sheen to the finish. Note, I don't spray the silicone directly onto the surface, I spray it onto the cloth and then just a little bit on the cloth and just rub the cloth into the vinyl areas, and again it just gives that nice finish. So once you're happy with that, we can then move on to the next step. And there's only a couple of steps left now, so we're nearly there. So next step, we're going to use some surface glass polish. Again, I've got a link in the description what I use, and I just use a glass cleaner to polish up any chrome or glass or the polished surfaces. Again, don't spray directly onto the surfaces, as this can end up like sort of getting into in between the switches and again into the corners, and we're sort of going back to the first original stages. So Now we're ready to move on to the final step. Hooray! So the final step's quite enjoyable if you like sort of playing with gooey stuff, because this is a product that I've only just recently started using, which I find helps with our close-up shots when we're doing our when we're taking pictures for our advertisements. So it's called a super clean. It's very gooey, but it does an absolute amazing job at removing any final particles. They're very tiny particles that you can't really see properly until you actually take a close-up shot, a close-up photo. So all you want to do is take this goo out of the pot and just rub it slowly into the areas, into the corners, and just get into those hard to reach areas, and it'll just pick up any loose, very small fragments of dirt which are still lying around. And then at the same time use a microfiber cloth and just wipe around any areas which might leave a bit of residue from the goo. And then once you've done that, we should be done. Wow, look at that compared to before starting this. I provided links in the description for all the products we used in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe for future tips when it comes to buying, selling, cleaning and maintaining cars. We love cars, and I hope you love cars too. Until next time, take care and happy motoring. See you soon.